Here we go. Here we go. I know that you guys have been waiting for it because I've been waiting for it too, man. I could not wait to record this. It is always fun to start recording a new series. Speaking of, I cannot wait for 2K21. Like I said before, we're going to be doing this one side by side with the San Diego Wildcats series. But the St. Louis Nighthawks will be the focal point from here on out because we're only going to be playing one more season after this one in the Wildcats series. So you guys saw in the beginning which of the logos won the voting. I don't want you guys to get upset though if you voted for number 5 because I know a lot of you guys really loved it. The voting was, when I combined the votes on the poll versus the people that commented, it got, I mean, it was really close. It was like out of like 800 or so votes, it was within like, they were within like 60 votes of each other. So it was really close. So those of you that wanted number 5 to be the logo, don't worry because I'm actually going to add that as an option for another St. Louis team for 2K21. It's not going to be called the Nighthawks, but it's going to be another St. Louis team, and I'm going to give you guys the option to have that logo along with 3 other options for the 2K21 series that we're going to do. Anyway, as you guys know, we got to go over and down to St. Louis, Missouri. Median income 61, fan interest 50. That's what I like to see right there. The fans are interested. They want us to come to St. Louis. Of course, that's where we're headed because that's where you guys voted for. So this was a topic of debate amongst you guys when we should start our series, but we're going to do it in the regular season in the beginning of the year. We're going to go ahead and download our team design because I've already designed the team. I'm going to go through this really quickly because I don't want you guys to see the city jerseys. Those weren't actually, the statement jerseys. Those weren't it. I have a different statement jersey that is going to be a surprise for you guys for the next episode, but we've got our Nighthawks jerseys all ready to go. I'm going to do a full reveal of those after we go through the expansion draft. Before we start the mode though, I want to go through the setup options. I want you guys to see how I have things set up. As you can see, we're going on 11-minute quarters like we always do. Protected players, 10. There you go. That's what's going to be one of the biggest challenges of this rebuild is that each team can protect 10 players. And as you can see, injuries are on. Regression and progression rates, all this stuff is set up to be really super realistic. I looked online and found I kind of mix and matched it. I'm going to turn the regression rate down a little bit though because in the Wildcat series it was a little bit intense. As you can see, we're going to be on Hall of Fame difficulty, simulator difficulty. I'm going to bump this up to 60 because I feel at least I feel like the CPU favors the user team in simulation. Trade negotiation difficulty, we're bumping all the way up to 70. I want trading to be nerfed in this series. I want it to be very hard for us to make trades, moving forward. And I want contract negotiations to be a little bit harder. I might bump that up to like 55 or 60. You guys let me know what you guys think I should do with that. But we're going 60 for simulator difficulty and 70 for trade negotiation difficulty. So, and like I said before, we're doing 11-minute quarter length with a 12-minute simulated quarter length. We're not normalizing any of the stats or anything like that. So let's advance on past that and go ahead and pick our team. There you go. You guys see it. The logo that you guys picked, the St. Louis Nighthawks, that's our team. Let's move forward and advance to this. We're going to go all user teams obviously are going to be on manual. And the only user team we have is the Nighthawks. So let's continue on. We're going to go to we want to load and download our own draft class. And as you guys know, I already got one ready. We're not going to go with storylines because I'm actually going to, I actually have like the equivalent of some storylines already built into the draft, if that makes sense, into the draft class. So it's time to start the expansion draft. I'm not even going to look at the protected players because I know it's going to depress me. And kind of no surprise, Paul Millsap not protected. They don't want his contract. There's still going to be some good players at the top here where, teams just don't want their contracts. Biombo, interesting. Let's see. Malik Beasley, definitely interesting. Let's see what else we got here. Gary Trent Jr., definitely interesting. Finney Smith, Henson. I just want to go through some of these players here and, show you guys what's available. Bryn Forbes is someone I'm definitely interested in. But I wanted to show you guys this because I want you to see, who's available or who could be available. It definitely could change, from one league to the next. But who could be available when you have 10 players being protected. We're going to sort this by age because I want to see who the younger guys are. Oh, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. I mean, I'm not going to say he's broken in 2K, but we already know how he plays. And I want this series to be different, okay? I hope that you guys don't hate me for this, but I can't. Like, why would they not protect him? You got 10 guys. Like, I don't get it, man. But Bowl, we just can't do it. We can't do it. There's someone else that I hope will be on here that maybe will make up for that. LeQ, I'm definitely interested in. And Fernandez Simons. This is a guy who I'm quite sure you guys are going to want me to go and get and try to develop. But Gary Trent Jr. on the Portland Trail Blazers, he's also very interesting. Man, that's a tough decision. But I know you guys would probably want me to. I wish I could ask you guys, ahead of time. But I'm sure you guys would probably want me to go get Fernandez Simons and try to develop him. Yeah, see, with 10 people being protected per team, you're not going to see a lot of young guys on here, or at least a lot of high potential young guys, right off the bat. Terrence Mann, I'm definitely interested in. This is a guy who I saw somebody on Twitter say something like there was like a highlight of him, and they said he was like a poor man's Ben Simmons. And I'm a poor man's Ben Simmons? Like, how poor? Like a homeless man's Ben Simmons? Because there's some players that there just is no poor man's version of, okay? But yeah, I'm definitely interested in Terrence Mann. Windler, I'm interested in him because he got high potential. But we kind of know, we know about Dylan Windler. We have him on the Wildcats, so he's an option. Taco Fall. There it is. I mean, we already know we want this guy. I didn't see anybody else, young or otherwise, from the Boston Celtics that I would want more than Taco. I want to develop this guy, and that's going to be our first pick. That hopefully will make up for the pain in your heart for me passing on Bowl. So let's continue on here. So I think I want to get a good mixture of veterans and young guys on the team. Chris Dunn, a young guy who I still have, some faith in, man. He hasn't panned out, for the Bulls. I don't know what the deal is with him, but I think I might want to give this guy a chance. I think I might want to give Dunn a chance. So we're going to take him with our second pick. And he's going to probably be our starting point guard for now. All right, let's see what else we got. Jeremy Lamb, definitely interesting. I don't know. He's on a 3-year contract, though. I don't know if I want that 3-year contract. At that money, I mean, he hasn't proven a whole lot. Bismack Biyombo, I don't like that contract much either, but he's on a 1-year deal. I think we'll take him because we don't have to re-sign him if we don't want to, so let's continue on. So there's no one else in the T-Wolves that I want, so I'm taking Beasley with our 4th pick. Continue taking a look through some more of these young guys. I definitely want LeQ. I look through the Suns. There's nobody else on the Suns that I would want. Let's see here. And Fernandez Simons. Let's take him over Gary Trent because, like I said, I think that's what you guys are going to want me to do anyway. Let's see. This is the 7th round. Finney Smith, definitely an interesting guy. He could play the 3 and the 4. Very good defender. Good 3-point shooter. 3-and-D guy, straight up. And he's young enough. He's on a decent enough contract. Definitely interested in him. I don't think there's anybody else on Dallas that I would want, so we'll take him. And let's see what else is in this very rough player pool. We said we wanted Bryn Forbes, so we'll take him. This team's going to be a little rough to start. It's going to be a little rough around the edges, but that's the point of the challenge. Alex Caruso, I just saw Alex Caruso, the GOAT, but we're going to take Avery Bradley from the Lakers instead because I want a veteran that can maybe mentor some of these young point guards we're going to have. Let's see what else we got here. You know what? I want one of these vets at the top that's on a 1-year deal. If for nothing else, for a mentor or maybe even for a trade piece. Paul Millsap would be he wouldn't be the better trade piece, honestly, between him and Ibaka because he's on a much worse contract. So we'll take Ibaka. Alan Smilajic. So, like everybody else says, the Warriors had enough faith to really want this guy. And what does he do? Plus, he's got really good potential at an A-. So we'll take him. We'll try to see if we can find out what the Warriors saw in him. Glenn Robinson III for a small forward. I think we're going to take him. I think he's on a really good contract. And, he's a guy that has plenty left in the tank, obviously. Could still very, very much help an NBA team. We're taking Terrence Mann because that's a guy that I want to try to develop as well. A nice little point forward. So for our 14th and final pick, you said Bowl's right below him, and he's just going to haunt me, isn't he? For our 14th and final pick, I think we're going to take the veteran Ed Davis. Again, this is another guy who he's a very good rebounder and a very good defender, and he could be a mentor for somebody like Taco Fall. So I'm going to take him. I think that's a perfect guy to have on the team, especially if we're going to maybe trade Serge Ibaka. So now that we're finished with the draft, before we do anything else, I want to show one of our guys modeling our uniforms. I know you guys got a sneak peek at them when we were at the Add Team page, but I want to show you guys a more detailed look at the uniforms. So we're going to have our boy Jalen LeCue modeling our uniforms for us, and as you can see, these are our home uniforms, the all-whites. We have blue and yellow with the black accents, and that's pretty much going to be our color scheme. Some dark gray mixed in there as well. But, you know, as you can see, this is our colorway, and I really like it a lot, man. I hope you guys like it, though, and that's the important part. I want to hear you guys' opinion on these. Tell me if there's anything that you think I should add or remove or change, anything like that. And these are the away jerseys, and I'm really proud of these, actually, because you can see where the obvious inspiration comes from with these away jerseys. But that was what I was going for. I wanted to make something that looked exactly like this because I love those jerseys. You guys know which ones I'm talking about. But these are the aways. I do also have a statement jersey made, and it's really nice, but I'm going to save that and reveal it in the next episode, surprise you guys with it. But this is our home court. It looks really bright on here for some reason, but it's not this bright. You know, once we're on the court, you guys will see it's not this bright at all. This isn't the very light wood. This is the regular light wood. But as you guys can see, I decided to go with an alternate logo for the center of the court. Obviously, that's not our primary logo, but I see a lot of teams going with alternate logos for their, you know, center court logo. So that's what I decided to go with here. As you can see, we are playing in the Enterprise Center. Quite a few of you guys said that would be the most realistic thing for us to do. Looking at this now, I think I want to change this in the middle here to black. I don't like it being blue. Let me back out. Let me see if we want to be able to see it. So let's change the color a little bit so that they can at least see it. And then let's back out. And yeah, that looks a lot more menacing. This actually isn't the final version of the court, however. I am going to be adding a secondary logo, just one secondary logo on the court, and I'm going to be changing the at STLNBA to blue, but I'm not going to do that right now just because I'll do it later. So now it's time to get down to the real business. I know that you guys probably saw the community post that I added, having you guys vote on what we should possibly do with a trade, you know, possibly looking at a trade scenario. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to see if we might be able to get a pick instead of a young player. Maybe a pick for next year or the year after would be preferable. But I'm going to put Serge Ibaka, I think. I'm going to put him up for, you know, in the trade finder and see what we might be able to get in return. Is there anybody we could throw in here? We're definitely not throwing in. Yeah, I mean, there's Smilajic maybe, but we need him at power forward because we're very light at that position. Yeah, there's no other young players that I want to add either. So we're going to just see what we can get for Mr. Ibaka here. Reggie Jackson and Pat Beverly. Winslow, but he doesn't really fit the mold of what we're trying to do here. I mean, I guess he does. Willie Hernan Gomez always interests me, but 0% chance we're giving up Taco Fall. I'm probably going to be unreasonably protective over Taco Fall. You see Bobby Portis, Danny Green, and KCP. Evan Fournier, we're not giving up a first-round pick. Do not want the Tim Hardaway Jr. contract. Gary Harris is getting a little overpaid. That's not a bad trade, but again, it just doesn't fit what we're looking for. Blake Griffin for Serge Ibaka straight up. Covington, that doesn't fit. Aldridge obviously doesn't fit what we're trying to do. All right, so these don't look like the deals that we're looking for. What if I throw in a second-round pick from 2021 with Serge Ibaka? What will that get us? Okay, now I'm seeing some draft picks. So this is a lot more up our alley. It's amazing what a second-round draft pick can do. Devontae Graham and Cody Zeller. There's no way I'm doing this because the Hornets have no reason to do that trade. It's just not realistic. Even with the trading nerfed, though, like, you know, with that slider being you know, a lot harder for us to trade, and they're still offering us stuff like that. 22 first-rounder, but again, I don't want that Hardaway contract. Oladipo, interesting, but just doesn't really fit with what we want to do. No Aldridge. Oh, okay. So, a 2020 first-rounder and Evan Turner, who looks to be on a one-year deal just like Ibaka is. This is a lot more of what I was looking for. I can't even talk. This is more of what I was looking for. So let's take a look here. Let's look at the Evan Turner contract. Okay, yep. So he does only have a 1-year deal, and we do not have to re-sign him, and he would be an excellent mentor for Terrence Mann. All right, so I was doing everything in my power to try to not give up this 2020 second round unprotected, and I was trying to just give him like a 2022 with the 21. I don't mind giving up the 21 second rounder, but you know, they just weren't having any parts of it. Like I said, with that trading slider being hiked up the way it is, you know, that you're gonna have to just go with the trade that they propose, and it looks like that's what we're gonna have to do. And I don't really mind this trade. We could try to recoup one of those second round picks if we have to, so we're gonna do it, and that is done, boys. So we need a backup power forward, and I think that Ba on a minimum deal isn't bad. This guy is like a 3-and-D type guy. With he's a great defender. He can come off the bench for us, play limited minutes, and be on a very team-friendly contract. So I think we're going to bring him in at least for just for 1 year as a veteran presence off the bench. We'll go ahead and negotiate the contract minimum. And he accepts. All right, great. So we've got him as a defensive guy off the bench. So I don't think there's any more moves that we are going to do, because there's not really a whole lot more that we can do, considering that our team, we don't have a lot to negotiate with here. So this is going to be the squad for the 2019-2020 season. We got Bismack Biyombo as our starting center, Malik Beasley as our starting shooting guard. Finney Smith will swap between the 3 and the 4. Bryn Forbes will probably be our backup shooting guard off the bench. Chris Dunn, our starting point guard. Glenn Robinson. Avery Bradley as a veteran off the bench that can also be a mentor. Again, Bob Mute will come off the bench behind Finney Smith, presumably. Evan Turner, another veteran guy who's only on a 1-year deal. Probably won't be re-signing him unless he wants a lot less money. But again, he can be a great mentor to Terrence Mann. Then we've got another veteran that can mentor some guys in Ed Davis, a glass cleaning defender. Great guy to have off the bench. 2 years we got him for. Then we've got Fernandez Simons, the young point guard, who I think you guys are going to be excited about. I think you guys are going to like this guy a lot. Hopefully we can develop him. Then we've got Smilajic. Again, like I said, man, the Warriors obviously saw something in him, so we're going to see if maybe we can try to develop him. We've also got our young point forward, Terrence Mann, another guy that, you know, stayed all the way till his senior year at Florida State, but he's a better defender than I think they're giving him credit for here. I think he'll be very good for us if we can develop him and get him some minutes in the NBA. Jalen LeCue, another guy who we're going to try our best to develop. Very, very athletic. Just this kid can ball, man. I'm telling you, he really can. And we're gonna try to develop him as well. So at the bottom of the roster here, we got a lot of guys that we're gonna be trying to develop, trying to mentor with some of the veterans. We've got Taco Fall, of course, rounding out the lineup, and I had to take him first. I had to take him first because I knew you guys would have eaten me alive if I didn't. So Taco Fall, man, he's gonna probably be the most popular player on the team, you know, for our fans out in St. Louis, which, you know, hopefully is going to be a really, really good thing for us. That'll draw in the crowds. So in the next episode, we are going to jump in and play our first game as a franchise, but I wanted to give you guys the option of which game we start off with. We can either start off in the beginning of the season, here on October 23rd, a home opener and season opener against the New York Knicks, or if you guys would rather go a different route, I had another idea. I also wanted to give you guys the option of possibly starting down here in the beginning of March, like the first week, second week of March, which is where the NBA season in real life left off when the pandemic hit. So we could maybe play, I guess, like this March 6th game here against the Detroit Pistons and start off there. But either way we do it, we're only going to play 2 games this season. Either that game against the Knicks on October 23rd or this game against the Pistons on March 6th and the last game of the season. And those are the only 2 games that we ourselves are going to play. We're going to simulate all of the rest of it and then make our way into the next offseason. And then next season, in the 2021-22 season, is when we will really start to get down and play each game or 1 game per month like we usually do. But I wanted to give you guys that choice. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see. And also, of course, let me know in the comments what you guys think of the team, man. What you guys think of the jerseys. Is there anything that we should change, do differently? In the next episode, before we play our first game, I'm going to go in depth and show you guys our rotations, our system proficiencies, our staff, because I haven't showed you guys that yet. And of course, since I know you guys all are wondering, keep an eye out on the community tab. I am going to be posting a hashtag add player post where you guys can put all of your hashtag add players, and then I will pick each hashtag add player that I'm going to add to the series from there. I'm probably just going to do it based off of who posts their hashtag add players first. I've already got a couple of people that are confirmed and already in there. You guys know who you are because I told you about it. I talked to you about it. But starting with the draft that's going to be leading into the 2022-2023 season, that draft will be made up of almost all hashtag add players. Because of course we get to a certain point where mock drafts are just so far out, we have no clue what those draft classes are going to look like. But in our world, they're going to be made up of you guys. So I hope you guys are ready for what's going to be hopefully a very cool and exciting series. And I hope you guys are ready for a season that's going to be a little bit rough. We're not going to go out making stupid, ridiculous, unrealistic trades. We're not going to be going out signing big superstars in free agency who would never sign with a brand new team in the NBA. We're going to be building this thing from the ground up with one of the worst teams in the NBA, and it may take us 4 or 5 years or even more than that to be even taken seriously and be possible playoff contenders. So I hope you guys are excited and ready for this first season, and I hope you guys are ready for episode 2 because it'll be coming very soon. I will catch you guys next time.